Greetings and welcome to Austin, Texas Gardening. It is December 2022, and if you're new to the program, my name is Matthew Wattrich. If you're joining us again, we're going to be doing another backyard garden tour here in the suburbs of Austin, Texas. I live in the city of Manor, Texas, and obviously I'm doing something a little bit unorthodox because I'm doing a garden tour at night. Typically, in all these videos you'll see online, people do garden tours during the day, and I figured that the reality is sundown around here. So for the record, again, if you're new, in Austin, Texas, sundown in Zone 8B in December is going to be about 5:30. And what that means is that I've had to hang up all these string lights, which I honestly think make my backyard look really wonderful because I get home from work at 5:30 and it's dark by the time I actually want to start gardening. This has been an issue in years past I haven't actually had to deal with because I started gardening in 2020, and with being forced to stay at home, obviously, I could do most of my gardening during the day, and now I figured that doing it at night, it would be a cool opportunity to show you guys how I do some of my night gardening in a garden tour. So today specifically, I think Wednesday the 12th. I shouldn't be guessing on that, but it's it's Wednesday. And so we're going to be taking a look at some of the stuff that I'm growing here in my backyard. We're also going to be taking a look at some of my tropicals, which are in my garage. I'm doing a little bit of zone pushing with pineapples, avocado, and an assortment of other plants that are in my garage as we're facing some actually pretty hard freezes. I think I saw on Friday, December the 23rd in the forecast was 22 degrees. So obviously, depending on how close it is to that date from the time that you're watching this, you might want to wrap your pipes. I'm not expecting a super cold freeze this winter. I've done some videos in the past about the winter storm and future freezes that we might get, but for the time being, let's not worry about that. If I think there's going to be a huge freeze, I'll do a video on one. I think the 22nd is just going to be really cold, but probably not a ton of snow. So with that, let's take a look at what I'm growing in my raised bed. So it is officially 7 p.m. and this is my backyard. It's pretty dark, and my phone has awesome night vision, as you can tell from the sky there. But I've set up these string lights and solar lanterns in my backyard, which I think have provided a ton of light and have been great for doing campfires and generally entertaining in the season. For the record, I have a backyard orchard out here, which you can kind of see in, some of these sticks here. But there is a total of 17 fruit trees in this backyard. That's 8 peach trees, I think 5 figs, 3 olives, and a Granny Smith. And they're pretty much all dormant right now, so I'm not going to really be talking about the backyard orchard today. Obviously, there's still some of these olive trees kicking, and I have been trying to get rid of that purslane that I mentioned I'd get rid of a month ago. Most of it's in the backyard at this point, but the meat and potatoes, there's actually no potatoes in this garden. That would have been a good dad pun. But the actual content of this video is contained here within the raised bed. So I'm growing radishes in this raised bed. I'm growing carrots, tomatoes, blackberries, strawberries, and a number of other cool vegetables. There's even a fig tree here. And towards the end, we've got, I just stepped on, I don't know if that just showed up in the video. I stepped on one of my dog twits. I may have already mentioned I've got carrots. What's left over of my dog having attacked are eggplant and some green onions. And look at how bright it is out here. I mean, these are just normal commercial grade string lights, and I think they just have like either 1 watt or 11 watt bulbs in them, but my garden is fully illuminated. I can see pretty much everything that's in here, and that's really all that's going on back here at this point. Of course, we have the bougainvillea. Once again, everything else is asleep. But I feel that our backyard during this season has been more of an entertaining space, which is nice. So moving on with it. What is growing in this raised bed in December? We go left to right. I had just mentioned these are some green onions, which I've regrown from food scraps. I've done videos in the past, little time lapses regrowing these inside. Obviously, you don't need to set these in water to regrow them. I just put these roots directly in the ground, and they're growing great. I also had an eggplant over here, which I'm thinking about sticking in a container before the big freeze hits. My dog came through and chewed this bad boy up. Oh man, it was really disappointing. Sugar decided to have some eggplant lunch. And so half the eggplant is still alive. That was like 3-4 weeks ago, probably at this point. And I don't even know what this is. I think it was parsley. I should know. It's not cilantro, I think. I have no idea. I planted that so long ago. But I've got some miscellaneous herbs. And then I wanted to decide to see if I could grow cabbage again this winter. And my dog dug up one of them. These were 45-day cabbages, and I planted them over 45 days ago, though, so I'm not exactly sure how that's going. But more importantly, I planted some carrot seed about a month ago. So I think in my last video, I'm planning on uploading this video on Friday, so it'll be about 33, 34 days apart from my November garden tour. And we've got the starts of some of these carrots sprouting, which is really cool. Now, my neighborhood has a ton of rabbits. During winter, you might think the rabbits are hibernating or something, and I don't know, maybe they are kind of hiding out, but we will definitely be having rabbits coming through here very, very soon. Obviously, with the cold weather, probably less, but as the carrots continue to develop, they love to eat the foliage that grows on top. And obviously, there's about to be a lot of changes because we still have fire ants. Despite the use of orange oil, the fire ants mostly have just relocated, and I'm not sure if that's showing up on video, but this hive is active. Is it? It was active this morning. Okay, well, great. Oh yeah, there's one ant. It was really active earlier. I know with the temperature dropping, and it's probably only 50 degrees now, we're going to get less and less of those ants, which is what I love to see. And I was really surprised with our beefsteak tomatoes. I was really thinking we'd get a proper winter crop out of these. And you can see there's some tomatoes here, but like huge cracks in them. Like these are not, this one is the only one that's fit for consumption, perhaps. And even that is really small compared to what we got in the spring. Obviously, tomatoes are not a winter vegetable, but it's been such a warm winter. It does leave me a little surprised that that is the circumstance. We've had a lot of growth here, and clearly it's coming to an end. As soon as it hits 22 degrees, I'm not going to try to save these guys. Not a lot to say with the fig tree. Once again, almost dormant. It produced one fig this year that didn't get eaten by my dog, and it was delicious. And again, this is just such a perfect example. If I back up here, I don't know what I'm going to use as the thumbnail for the video, but like, look at how visible that is. You can easily, aerate the soil, come out here, turn up stuff, dig up stuff, put it in containers to take it into the garage. With just, that is probably 2 feet, 3 feet maybe, between the edge of the bed and the fence where those string lights are. And they are lighting up our garden in a wonderful way. Finally, we got a little blackberry and nothing to note there. And then these radishes. So these radishes I thought were pretty interesting. I looked up a couple of other videos online, and I could see that quite a few people were going from sowing their seeds not to germination, but rather to full harvest in 30 days with these radishes. And at the time of my filming, it's been 30, maybe 32 days, and these radishes are not even barely properly formed. Maybe this is an indicator of my poor soil quality. I also add it rained quite a bit right after I planted these, so I planted them in 3 rows here. And you can see the rain just kind of distributed them. As this filled up with water, they kind of moved around wherever they wanted to go. But this is, these are probably the most developed radishes in the bed, and they're still immature. There's about an inch high. We're looking for about 4 inches of a height before we harvest. So I don't know if the 22-degree freeze is going to knock these out, but certainly not super impressive. What I do love about this is just the presentation. Obviously, the fruit trees are not going to be doing anything right now, but I think there will be some future nights where this whole setup really just looks awesome. So I'm going to keep this video short. There's no reason to drag this one out, especially with the trees out of commission. Let's take a look at my garage, take a look at some of the plants I'm zone pushing. So you'll have to excuse my hoarderish tendencies in this garage here, but I've got my plants stuffed here in this corner, and I've got, many of these plants have been featured in other videos. There's pineapple, a very sad avocado tree there that's turning brown at the top. Hopefully being under this much light will be helpful. Jalapenos, 2 fig trees, a bunch of purslane, blackberry thorn, blackberry with thorns over there in the corner. And it is really warm in this garage right now. Just because of these lights that I'm using. I can't recall what brand of lights these are. If you want to see a video on them, I'm just looking at them right now. They're Job Smart work lamps. And I recall they're 10,000 lumen work lights. So I just got these as makeshift grow lights. Obviously, this is not an ideal grow up. It'd be nice if these were in, reflective containers. I've seen people do like little bags with a light at the top, and maybe I'll fashion something for these, but my garage is just in a state of disrepair. We've been doing some repairs around the house, and so I really just need to clean my garage generally. Maybe if I get around to that, I'll have a cool update for these in the January garden tour, but they really are doing better since they've been in here. I've had these plants sitting in the driveway for the better half of a week now, and if you take a look over here in the corner, I don't know if I can zoom in on that. My fig tree, which was dormant, is getting ready to put out leaves again. So obviously this is somewhat helpful, but the avocado tree is just looking absolutely cursed. I hate to see it. So we'll just see how these turn out, but I just wanted to do a short garden tour for the December video and just show you guys what I'm working with. So good luck with all of your gardening projects this winter, and thanks again for watching Austin, Texas Gardening.